It's interesting how sometimes when you look at the world, it can feel like everything just falls into disarray, doesn't it? You might have noticed how, no matter how much you organise, clean or tidy, it seems like things, they just get messy again. And it's almost like you can hear a voice in the back of your mind saying, why bother? After all, everything just fades away, doesn't it? And maybe that's a perfectly natural thought to have, given the way that things can sometimes look on the surface. What if, just for a moment, you could step back and see it differently? What if there was a way of experiencing it all, without getting trapped in that cycle of decay? Now imagine for a moment that everything you've worked on, or cleaned up, it has a hidden purpose. It was never really about just making something clean or tidy in the way you may have thought. Instead, it's about creating the space for something more meaningful. Something that will last, at least in a way that you choose to see it. As you think about that, I want you to notice how the energy in the room shifts. Because as soon as you begin to realise that everything you do has the potential to bring new order into your life, you'll start to create a new belief. You might even begin to believe that there's value in the process itself, no matter what the outcome may look like. Doesn't that sound interesting? See, when we tidy up, when we organise, when we make things clean, we're not simply fighting against the inevitable decay. No, we're engaging in a process of transformation. You might wonder, why do things seem to slip back into disorder? Well, what if I told you it's not because of some external force, but rather because of life itself? It's constantly moving, changing, evolving. And the movement creates the very rhythm of life. It's almost like a dance, isn't it? A beautiful ebb and flow. And in that flow, things come into alignment. Just to shift once more, but each time with new possibilities. So there's a beauty in the rhythm of change. And in embracing that rhythm, you begin to realise that what seemed like decay before, it's simply the prelude to new growth. Think of a garden. The garden may seem chaotic, messy and wild. But deep down, every leaf that falls, every plant that withers, is contributed to the growth of the garden itself. In that decay, there's renewal. Every moment of effort, every step you take in tidying up, it isn't wasted. It's all part of a deeper, hidden purpose that, just by continuing to act, you fulfill. And isn't it incredible now, how when you look at it from this angle, that feeling of why bother, it melts away. When you tidy up, you're engaging in the act of creation, of giving yourself the power to shape your environment and the energy that's around you. It's not the end of the story, but the beginning of something much more expressive. It's like a sculptor working with clay, not just shaping the form, but shaping the very experience of what the form becomes. The act of cleaning or organising becomes a choice, an empowering choice to bring yourself into alignment with your highest desires, to express your creativity through every decision that you make. Now imagine, with every choice, every action that you take, you're aligning yourself with the natural flow of the universe. You can begin to feel how even the mess, the chaos, it can bring about new forms of beauty, just by virtue of the act of making it all work together. And what if, just by changing your perspective, you began to see that even what appears to be decay is actually the fertile ground of new opportunities, new learning, new insights? Doesn't it shift things in your mind just to consider that? Perhaps there's something more profound at play. And as you realise this, you begin to understand every moment spent organising, every moment spent clearing, it's not just an act of maintenance, it's a statement to yourself and to the world, that you're shaping your experience, that you're the creator, the artist of your life. And even when things shift, change, or seem to fall back into disorder, it's only a new invitation to reshape, recreate and renew. It's like turning the page of a book that, though the story continues, it opens up a whole new chapter filled with fresh experiences, new possibilities. So perhaps instead of why bother, your mind might start to ask, how much can I create today? How much more beauty, more joy, more peace can I invite into my life through the simple act of organising and choosing how I engage with the flow of the world around me? And when you shift into that mindset, you open up a whole new world of opportunity. One where nothing is wasted, where everything, even the smallest act of tidying, is part of a grand story that's unfolding moment by moment. And as you begin to see it this way, you might start to notice how much lighter, freer, and more empowered you feel. Almost as if the weight of decay is lifted, leaving you with the space to create, to renew, to be the architect of your own life. Because you see, it's not about avoiding the inevitable. It's about embracing the flow and using it as a tool to bring what you truly desire into the world. What happens next is entirely up to you. But you'll notice how, with every shift, every perspective, you begin to see yourself as a creator, a maker, someone who knows that the work that you do is never in vain. No, it's always building, always transforming. And the beautiful thing is, you don't even have to consciously try. Just by allowing this understanding to settle into your mind and heart, you begin to feel this truth. It's part of you now. And from this point forward, every act you take, no matter how small, it'll carry this new belief with it. Isn't it fascinating how this one small change in perspective can make such a difference in how you experience the world? Because once you accept the flow of life as part of your creative process, you realize it's not just about the result, it's about the beauty of the process itself.